Those who have been to a ruined wedding, what happened?
We attended a wedding for family member who didn't have a lot of money. It was hosted at an inexpensive venue but was nice. My heart broke when only a third of the people invited showed up. You could see the hurt in the couple's face. They came up to our table and said, "Do you have any friends in city? We lived an hour away." They had all this food for 100 people, but only 30 guests. They were willing to have complete strangers come down just so their money and food wouldn't go to waste. We hadn't handed over our card with cash inside, yet so my husband hit the ATM and added another $100.
Somewhere there exists a picture of me in stage blacks in the middle of a drunken wedding reception conga line. My BF at the time was doing sound for the band, as they'd intended to have all live music. Something like 6,100 people showed up, there was a snowstorm involved, and the bride, without missing a beat, invited all of the venue staff, including people who weren't even working the wedding, to come eat and dance. Bride's mother ended up playing DJ for about an hour, with the exact same no-nonsense attitude as her daughter, so the band could properly sit down for dinner, and the groom and his groomsmen, still in tux shirts pants, insisted on helping load out even though it was basically just a drum kit and couple speakers. I have no idea who these people were, but would bet money I can't afford to lose that they're still happily married.
My spouse and I had something similar happen. Estimated 45 to 50 people total invited. Only 25-ish showed. A portion of family, my friends, and 2 people from his side. Thankfully, I cooked and decorated on my own and such. It wasn't a huge financial loss. We already knew how his family was and how parts of my family were. I prepped food and space for them, just in case. I wasn't surprised or upset when people didn't show. With so much food left over, it went home with my siblings. I come from a large and poor family, so all of them appreciated having extras for the week.
The wedding was at a state park that's famous for its giant gorge waterfall. I don't know whose idea this was, but someone suggested a photo overlooking this gorge and everybody was game. The wedding party went around a stone security barrier and the maid of honor literally fell off the cliff to her death. It was like 500 plus feet.
Okay, this ties for worst wedding story in this thread. Edited, many more death stories have been posted, so we're up to something like a 20-way tie by now.
Oh my god, why is it always the maid of honor that bites the dust in these horror stories? Edit OMG, I can't believe I got so many upvotes. You are all awesome.
A friend of my girlfriend was getting married. The wedding was quite normal. They got married in the local church and then there was the party in a nice restaurant. The photographer asked the bride and her bridesmaids, my girlfriend was one of them, to go outside for some photos. Some minutes later, one of the bridesmaids come back asking for help. There were some swans that attacked the photographer and the majority of the people around him were not doing anything much more than laughing at this guy who was running around and screaming.
No luck catching them swans then. Big wedding, around 500 people, all the future wife's doing. She wanted the huge $70,000 wedding. I was a groomsman, pre-wedding, he's nervous as hell. All these people has to be perfect, this is her dream wedding, yada yada. So at some point the whiskey gets pulled out. It went from a calm the nerves few shots to he's just about finished the bottle. We give him water, get him in the shower and we're dressed. It's go time. Midway through her vows, he pukes all down the front of her dress. It was horrible, but it was great. They're going on 8 years strong.
My mother was a church organist and attended many weddings. I suppose the story that stands out was of the bride who, when asked, "Do you take this man?" broke down and said, "No, I can't, I don't love him," and ran out of the church. It was a smallish town. People found out that she had met somebody new, fallen hopelessly in love with him.
It was a big wedding, over 300 people. Turns out the bride had been having an affair with her cousin's husband. The cousin had known for a little bit but waited until the wedding to go table to table, letting everyone know the bride was sleeping with her husband. Poor groom was blindsided. Worst part was his father-in-law was well off and opened up a restaurant for him. Well, he lost his wife and his restaurant.
A fight broke out between father of the bride, brother of the bride, and some guy that just happened to be staying at the hotel. In reality, I don't know how much of a fight it was, more just the dad and brother assaulting some man. So anyway, they were both arrested. Cut to the bride sobbing at breakfast because her dad and brother spent the evening of her wedding in jail and now face assault charges for what they did to this poor man.
Was a guest, a friend of the bride, did not know anyone attending. Very expensive, over-the-top place, several hundred guests of this very Italian wedding. Maid of honor grabs mic at the cocktail hour, begins her speech, rambling, drunk, quickly devolves to stating the recently deceased mother of the bride was against this wedding and that's basically what killed her. Plus, Vinny will never give up prostitutes. She is tackled by several people and dragged away. The happy couple is separated and divorced within a year.
Father of the bride died suddenly 3 days before the wedding, pre-COVID. Daddy-daughter dance was mom, bride, and picture of dad. Same with walking down the aisle to give her away. Lots of tears, not many smiles. Even the bartender at the hotel knew the night before and was talking about it with me.
During the mixed-gender bachelor party, the bride-to-be got in a spat with the groom and slept with another guy. Wedding was off the next morning. They lost $10K plus dollars. He took her back a couple of months later.
The groom caught the bride in the toilets with another guy at the reception. He forgave her, but after 2 months or so, he caught her again with another guy, a third one.
Hurricane Ivan. Our wedding was scheduled for Friday, and the hurricane hit us dead center on Thursday. We were sitting around with no power on Friday and remembered that a neighbor was a pastor. So my partner and I just knocked on his front door and asked if he would just marry us in the front yard. So the big church wedding was canceled, but instead I got married in the front yard with chainsaws and stuff in the background. Been married 17 years now.
Not as dramatic as some of the comments on here, but very awkward. Was it a lovely wedding? Really romantic. All candle lit. And the reception was lovely. This man made a good speech, then at the end he said everybody raise your glasses to. He said the groom's name, and then accidentally called the new bride the ex-wife's name of the groom.
This didn't ruin the whole wedding, but it surely didn't brighten my day. After the ceremony, we were standing in front of the altar and people took turns to congratulate us. As it was my mother's turn, she took my hand and told me she's sorry she raised such a bad person like me. Thank God my husband doesn't speak her language well.
This was one I worked at. After the ceremony, right at the start of the reception, photographer was taking, jumping photos of the bride and bridesmaids, so they were all jumping in the air while wearing heels. Bride landed and dislocated her knee, then passed out and kept going in and out of consciousness. We called an ambulance who turned up and fixed her knee, etc., but she wanted to continue with the wedding. She then had the first course of the meal and threw up down her dress and had to sit with her mum in another room while everyone else danced, etc. Felt so bad for her as she spent the rest of the evening crying.
I'm imagining everyone awkwardly doing the Cupid shuffle while avoiding eye contact with the sobbing bride.
The groom's father groped both the bride and his daughter, my then girlfriend, multiple times each. Ended up getting punched out by his son and locked in a minivan for a few hours until he sobered up. Edit, half the questions are the same and the answer is yes, he groped his own daughter as well as his son's wife. Edit 2, dude was belligerently drunk, had been punched, and if memory serves correct, had his hands duct taped behind his back. That's how he was able to be locked in a minivan. Child locks on the rear, and too drunk to find a way to hit the unlock in the front seats while his hands were taped.
The bride's father was 45 minutes late to walk his daughter down the aisle. While we were waiting, the air conditioning broke in the venue. It was over 100 degrees outside and humid AF. The place was overcrowded. You could barely move without bumping into someone else, and in the heat that was extra miserable. I guess the air conditioning problem had also affected the refrigeration or something because most of the food was spoiled. The only food on the buffet was salad, spaghetti, and rolls. Not enough to feed even half the guests. Most people left after the first dance. 2 of the bride's aunts fainted. The bride and the wedding planner were crying.
When the wedding planner is also crying, you know the day has spiraled out of control.
This was around 2009. On the second day of the wedding, the bride went swimming in the ocean. It took place in Tenerife. She swam out too far and was basically lost at sea for 9 hours or so. She eventually found her way back but was in bad shape. Everyone was panicked the whole day and thought she drowned. By the time she got back, she wished she had. Her husband found her phone and read a bunch of messages supposedly from her aunt, but it was quickly clear from the sexy content it wasn't her aunt at all. She had been having an affair with the best man for apparently years. They got an annulment shortly after. $60,000 down the drain. One of the most opulent weddings I've ever been to.
I'm a wedding photographer. I was at one really fancy one a couple of years ago, typical outdoor deal at a swanky location in the middle of nowhere. The place was really nice, had a large concrete stairway flanked by water fountains that led down to the altar area, so the bride could be seen by all like she was ascending from heaven. The ceremony begins and the bridal party come down and take their places. Then the bride appears with her father. He takes 3 or 4 steps down the concrete steps and her shoe twists on her. She tumbled down a good 12 feet or more and busted out the majority of her front teeth in the fall. So much blood all over her. With the place being so isolated, it took a good 40 minutes for ambulance to arrive and she was in intense pain. Ultimately she was okay and I got an email from them weeks later with the rescheduled date. This time there was no stairs anywhere in sight.